Can be loose and set me free. You make me win every way. You showed me how to spread my wings. Yes, I'm the winner of the day. You can be loose and set me free. You make me win every way. You showed me how to spread my wings. Yes, I'm the winner of the day. Yes, I'm the winner, yeah.
Hello, 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 and welcome back to the Oola Corner, the place where we talk all things Oola. Now, what is Oola, you say? I'm glad you asked. Oola is actually kind of a made-up word, but it stems from the French ooh la la. And what we say, it's all about living a life of awesomeness. It was coined by two amazing guys, Dr. Troy and Dr. Dave, as they set out on this amazing journey to help and touch 1 billion people with this world and help them find balance in an unbalanced world. Oola is living a life of balance, like I mentioned, and greater purpose. It's about recognizing where you are in 7 key areas of life, setting goals, and then taking action steps so that you can grow into that life, the life of your dreams. My name is Coach Mona, and I am a certified life coach with Oola. And my challenge to you is to start dreaming again. Now, I am super excited because today I have my BFF and fellow coach and accountability partner, Team M&M, high five, and very, very good friend, Michelle, Coach Michelle, here with me. Thank you so much for joining me, Michelle.
Hi, thank you. I am most grateful to you to be here right now.
All right, well, why don't you share a little bit about yourself? Like, I always ask people to share their Oola stories because I think for a lot of people, finding Oola has created a transformation and a pivot in their life. So why don't you share your Oola story?
Perfect. So,
And tell us a little bit about yourself in the meantime.
perfect. So, like she said, I'm Coach Michelle or Coach MK. I have a business called Soulga Life Coaching that basically offers different services from one-on-one coaching to group coaching, speaking engagements, meditations, affirmations. And I kind of developed this through my upbringing. My grandmother was a minister, and I didn't realize it then how important it was that now I know of the balance and the structure that was created for me throughout my whole life. And so when I found Oola, it just naturally clicked for me because it was so much parallel to what I had learned growing up. So I have always been a homegrown Florida citizen. I'm still here in Florida, and I have 2 children, well, 2 human babies, 2 fur babies. Just life is really great. The biggest thing I love about where I am right now is the Oola lifestyle. So it's like you described it as it being, this balance, but I feel like, and I'm sure you would agree that the word Oola, it's like so many definitions and so much depth to what you're saying. And so Oola just is a really big part of my life right now. And pretty much how I live every day is trying to create that balance despite living in an unbalanced world.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I feel that I found Oola probably like 5-6 years ago. But it wasn't until I became a coach and I started really applying the principles of Oola that I could see my life changing from. I can just remember back in 2020, and I was just feeling so down. Like I had imposter syndrome. I'm like, who do I think I am? I had so much negative self-talk, and through applying the Oola principles and using everything that they taught me on a daily basis, I feel more confident. I feel more happy, and my family life is better. My finances, dude, let's not even start talking about my finances. They're like, flourishing. So yeah, definitely Oola has changed my life in so many areas. Is there one specific area for you that you can say that Oola has really like transformed you?
There's been a lot of transformation. When I first found Oola, I was working as a vendor at a health fair, and one of the ladies that had a booth a couple down from mine, she brought over the Oola for Women book and she gifted it to me. And I was like, oh, cool. Now, I mean this with the best thoughts behind it. I'm not a reader at all. I like these short little snippets of things that I like gathering information on the internet to research, and I'll read a little magazine article. But as far as like a book goes, I was like, oh, thanks. Now, I definitely will put it in my collection. I have some wonderful books. I love my library. I just don't read it often. But there was something about that book that I put it off to the shelf. Well, not even on the shelf. I put it like on the side. And then I was like, you know what? I think I need to read that. So I take it out and I read it and I say, okay, I really like this. And then I put it aside and thought, well, that's kind of like my life already. This is how I was raised, blah, blah, blah. And then I had situations in life that brought up another need for me to read this book again. And the second time when I read the book, I decided I was going to start following actually what it presented in there to help me attain those goals. So going back to your question, strong parts that it's brought out would be friends, family, finances, and probably my field, because then I went on to become certified and start doing life coaching now is my full-time thing. So I would say probably those 4 out of the 7 are my strong ones. And I was doing Oola before Oola was Oola. I mean, it really, I can't say enough, was paralleled so much with the foundation of what I was brought up in. So I feel like I've been doing it forever. And now I just have something that I can help. I have actually a structure of a framework that I can actually go teach and share with other people to help them try to make their all 7 F's like the highlight of their life, I guess.
Nice. So with looking at, you know, your people, like who out there are you able to help, and what are some of the things that you see that might be holding these people back?
That is a wonderful question. I've switched a little bit. So I started off with kind of defining where my pivotal moment was. And so I have lots of stuff behind me. I have the divorce, the foreclosure, watching my car be taken away when it was repossessed, depression, just really dark days. And so I started off with being able to help people, you know, women who were, let's say, 30 to 45 that had those kind of similar issues. And then as I started to develop and started to kind of grow it a little bit, I started finding that my spirituality kept shining through. So I was doing this life coach, this Oola framework, but the highlight, the things I love to do is connect with people spiritually. And so now it's really kind of developed into, I always say with my coaching now, it's kind of like my catch is, if you can bring me a situation that I cannot find the highlight, the silver lining in your dark cloud, I will coach you for free. So it's turned into finding, it would be my ideal person would be someone who believes in some type of faith. You don't have to have it labeled, but you've gone through some things that really have put you questioning where your faith is. And I feel like I'm the person, my strength is I can show you where the bigger picture, where the presence, the God, the source, the energy, the universe is showing up in a situation where you feel is horrible. I feel like that I'm gifted with being able to see through that and recognize a bigger good. So it's, I would say someone who, mostly I work with females, and that just are kind of questioning, like, what's going on in my life? I went through this, but this doesn't feel very godlike. And some of the blockers, I would say through Oola, that have come up for me, and also a few of my clients, would be stuff like laziness, discipline, maybe gratitude would be a challenge for some of my clients.
Mm.
I had personally a lot of self-sabotage along with the same thing like you, the imposter, like, what am I doing? Who am I to
Yeah.
do this? And all this questioning internally. I don't know if I find my clients having that. Maybe that will develop as time goes on. But I would say a lot of not having the discipline to get up and make that change, or not being able to see the gratitude yet.
Nice. So, I know we didn't talk about this, but something came up, and so I want to backtrack just a little bit.
Mhm.
Do you kind of find yourself as a conduit or a messenger between like what their life purpose is and where they're stuck, like to be able to deliver that message to them in a way that will help them move forward?
Again, another wonderful question. I don't see my purpose as that. I do believe in that. And I think that I think if all of us tuned into it, we could probably get there.
Hmm.
But I don't see my role as that.
Okay. All right, because I know, in our conversations, like I mentioned in the beginning, in the introduction, Michelle she's my accountability partner. She keeps me on track. And on the days when I go off track, she's my little devil's advocate as well, that kind of puts me back on track and asks questions. And for me, that has been, extremely, extremely helpful. And one of my previous coaches, she kept saying to me, well, Mona, you can't see your own eyeballs. So sometimes you need that person with that outside point of view to help you and steer you back in the right direction. So life coaching, like, what does that mean to you, like in your own life as a field or a profession, and as a recipient, I guess, of life coaching? Well, what does that mean to you?
Um, let me say, I want to respond to you real quick. I have to say to you also, we make great accountability partners because there's a safety, there's a secure area that we're able to be vulnerable and know that our accountability partner, um it's okay for like whatever you're saying, because it's not malicious and you're not trying to hurt me, you're trying to better me. So I would say
Mm-hmm.
in that sense, it takes one to know one, so you're able to recognize that means you represent that yourself. So I agree. We've been doing this for over a year now, and
Yep.
it's we hold all I can say is we hold each other accountable, and that doesn't even give it justice to say that. But so I have the equal gratification, to you as well, for being like, that's my girl, my team Eminem. Yeah.
Yeah.
um okay, so what is life coaching? That's a good question. I have lots of people ask me that, and I think, as generic as this sounds, so people will sometimes ask, well, what's a therapist and how do you fit in with that? The way I look at it is, a therapist is going to take something uncomfortable or a situation you're going through, and they're going to help dig in and find out the psychology behind it and how you can address that and how you can heal that. Where a
Hmm.
life coach might take you where you are, problem or not, and you have stuff you want to achieve. And so as a life coach, we work out laying out what is that you want to achieve, and then we plan a path of how to get you there. So
Yeah.
I always call myself a personal cheerleader, and I'm right there to walk beside someone and hold their hand and be their best friend. I'm also going to ask a question. I'm going to present it to you like, well, why did
Yeah.
that happen? I'm not mad. I'm not going to discipline you or scold you, but that's all part of the accountability. But I want to make sure, as a life coach, that I equip you with the right tools that you can do it by yourself, write those proper goals in a proper format, and know the different steps to make that happen. So therefore you can achieve those goals. It's kind of what a life coach is for me in my life.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree. I agree. And one of the things that I love with Oola as well is that what we have to offer, it's not a secret. You'll see
Right.
these, huge, huge ads on the TV, I talked about this with Joe last week, where uh, you see a person, in front of their private jet or a fancy car, or join me and pay me $10,000 and I will tell you the 3 secrets to becoming rich. But in Oola, it's not a secret. It's a system, and it's a system that anyone can apply to their lives. And I think that's where it's important to have a life coach or an accountability partner, because I found the system in a book. It was given to me. I found it. I knew about it, but I didn't apply it because I didn't have that person there to that I had to, I'm going to meet you this week, and I said I was going to do 3 things, but I haven't. Like that, it's not a good feeling. So, for anyone that is interested in the system, just, reach out, and I will, give you one of these books for free. Like always, for anyone watching the Oola Corner, just reach out, and the Oola book is for free for you. But in terms of applying the framework, what are some of the benefits that you see your clients achieving, and and also in working with you as a coach?
I've had all kinds of results from my clients, from healed marriages to profitable bank accounts.
Yes.
I'm trying to think one particular area that I really have clients all over the board. I have clients enough from that are too driven in their field that they don't
Yep.
know how to have fun. I have clients that can now create this communication or this harmony between a family member they haven't talked to for 20 years.
Yep.
Like I said, they're getting their marriage back together, mending with their children, finances, where there's a particular program that we specialize in called the Green Gap program. It's very, very super simple, but dedicated. You must complete, there's a method to it, and we complete the method, and it shows its wonders. That program alone, and I know, Mona, you said you've had some huge success in it. I cannot tell you the amount of people that we deal with, you and I, that are coaches, that are ambassadors for our Oola Global program. The amount of money that comes out of that program just by individuals creating it is crazy.
Yep.
Fitness, I've had people who now have an active life where they before were pretty much just hanging out on the couch. And I mean, they were working from home, but now they have success where they actually have a routine practice, and they've lost some weight, and they're healthy. So when we say Oola, it's a whole, it's not one strength. It's not like, okay, well, I'm your fitness coach or health coach or business coach. It literally, the whole program, like you said, it's not a secret, it's a system.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like a wheel. And so on this wheel that's going to be spinning, you have the spokes, which makes it an even wheel.
Yep.
And all of these spokes represent the 7 F's of Oola. So fitness, finance, family, field, which is your career, faith, friends, and fun. When one of those spokes is lower, then our wheel is still going to roll, but it's going to be like kerplunk, kerplunk, kerplunk.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole point in that is by having all of those spokes balanced, you have the wheel that just rolls. Now, are there going to be situations where one season our family might be lower because our field is so high, we're trying to be an entrepreneur or whatever? Of course, but that's a season. We're talking about
Yep.
for lifestyle. So it's not really just geared toward one area. Thankfully for me, I've been able to be blessed with clients that it's for all areas. Like I said, my strength in it is being able to them bring me a bad situation or what feels like a bad situation, and we find the beauty in it, the gold nugget, the wisdom, and turn it around, and therefore bring them back to connecting with their spirituality and saying, okay, God wasn't gone, I was lost, or the light was
Right.
just had a cloud in front of it.
Right. Yeah, that's really one of the things I love about Oola, is that it allows you, because for me personally, when I was going through my dark period and I looked at life as a general and how can I improve my life, it felt so overwhelming to a point where I didn't even want to take any steps. I'm like, well, this is life. Life is
Yeah.
hard. Like that was the things that I was telling myself. But then I found Oola, And Ula breaks down your life in smaller bite-sized pieces that is easy to digest. So, for example, my fitness is great, but my faith, I need to pump up my faith area so I can, or my family is amazing, but my finance is low. And what I found as well, to was that I was able to use my strong areas, my family. I was able to use that to help build my finance because I want to be able to support my family. I want my children to have, what they need and sometimes as well what they want. So, I needed to find a system, which you mentioned, the Green Gap, which has helped me tremendously in focusing on my finances in a positive way so that I am now in a place where I can support my family, I can support my children, I can support their hobbies and their life and meet, not only their needs, but their wants as well. And on top of that, on top of being able to provide that for my family, I was also able to pay off one of my credit cards. So the system, not a secret, but this system, it works. And again, working with another coach or an accountability partner is really, it keeps you on your toes. You don't want to cheat. It's like every Wednesday when I meet you, it's like it's a test. I'm meeting Michelle today. I don't want to fail my test. so that's, I really enjoy the fact that you can look at life in, it's like the saying, you see an elephant, you can't eat the elephant in one bite, but with Oola you get to divide it into smaller pieces that are easier to handle, and I can keep doing the same thing with my family because it works and I have a strong family bond, but I need to change things on my finance. And then knowing that my increased finance is going to help my family, it's just another win-win, and it helps create that balance again.
I hugely value what you said about the breaking down, because I think that's really important when people are at a hard time in life and they don't know where to go. It's so overwhelming because they feel like everything is just piled on top of each other. Exactly like you said, you look at it and go, "Oh, I don't even want to start. I can
Mm-hmm.
handle where I am now. I'm miserable, but at least I can handle it." And so I
Which I
think,
can imagine is something that your clients are, that's the place where your clients are, right?
yeah, I mean, they're to the point that they're like questioning God. I mean, that's,
Right,
and it doesn't have to be anything huge. Like it wasn't, and I don't even want to say like no one lost a child. Like it
right.
wasn't super severe, but they're spent, they're tired, they're
Yeah.
exhausted, and they're overwhelmed. And that's so easy to do right now in life. And so they're like, "Oh, if there is a God, where is he? Like, what am I doing?" And so I like how you said it. You can take it down in bite-sized pieces so you can digest it. And that is
Hmm.
exactly because the biggest thing in Oola is you do you. And so they
Hmm.
provide this, and we're all here to help. It's a huge community of supportive outpouring of love, but
Yep.
nobody says, well, this is the way I do it, so you have to do it that way. They say, you do you. How can I help assist you be you? And
Right.
that's very freeing. And that's very much um, something we can take on when we're in a lot of stress. It's not adding one more thing. It's like, wait a minute, let me pick out that thing that can really save me versus let me add one more thing for me to do.
Yeah. And I can imagine if we, with focusing on somebody like your client that feels stuck in the dark and they might be questioning God, but you sit it down and you break it down for them and you're like, well, but look at your fitness. You are extremely healthy, and you don't have any illnesses. Let's just for today, just for this very moment, let's be grateful for that. Be grateful that you are healthy, that body, mind, and spirit, you are healthy. And then teaching them slowly but surely to notice the things in their life, even though gratitude might be a challenge, which it was for me for a long time. But finding the smaller things. My kids are healthy. My dog is healthy. My dog made me laugh today. Finding those small things in your everyday life that you can appreciate. Those small things that put a smile on your face. Those small things that, you know, I don't know, it just gives you a little bit of a, I don't know, breath of fresh air in what might be an otherwise dark day.
Yeah, that I dig that. That's a really good area of gratitude in Oola, of us looking always things to be thankful for. I think the thing that where I dig deeper into is they can bring me a situation,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to say 99.9. Again, I'm waiting for that 0.1% to bring me their problem and me not be able to show them the silver lining in it. I can
Right.
to what they're bringing me, and I can go right, and I don't know if I find it right away, but I can do some thinking in my head. I can get right to the little bit, like you got a huge dark cloud, it's full of rain, and you can see tornadoes behind it and lightning, and there's one little tiny bit where the sun is just peeking out like the little silver. I can find that silver in any situation, and it's not even like, well, over here, like you can bring me your story of family, and I'm not going to find a positive in fitness. I'm going to go right where you're bringing it to me and show you
Mm.
that situation. And I've always had this, and I think I used to discredit it, and I used to almost be mad at myself because when a friend would come to me, and I feel like me being a friend is being open and honest to equip them where they can go out and conquer anything.
Right.
So when someone was friends with me, it was like, well, is she on our side? Because I wouldn't always say, oh my gosh, you're so right. Because I felt like for me being a friend that wasn't being honest with them, because if they weren't necessarily making a decision that would be the highest and best for all, I
Mm.
was the one that could, I was going to, I was going to have their back no matter what. And I was going to stand in front that I had them. But on the side, I would talk and try to figure out like, well, maybe this is happening because of this. And
Right.
so
Right.
I used
Right.
to get really mad at myself because I was thinking, well, I'm not one of those friends that's like your BFF that's going to tell you everything you want to hear. And I really got mad at myself for a long time. And then as I've just grown older, and that's just the way that I am, I learned to find the good part out of it, because I know when I say I'm someone's friend, girl, I got you. Like I will not sell you out, but I'm also going to be there to show you like, well, let's really make you a better person. And I'm not one that's going to like tell you how to do your life, or like I just I can find something good out of that. And honestly, I think it's because of my grandmother, the same spiritual mentor, the minister. You always knew that you could go to her and she wouldn't tell you necessarily like, well, she would never say you made a bad decision, but she would question us like, well, what made you think
Right.
that? What made you do that? And then we'd find our own result and go, oh, yeah, that probably wasn't the best decision because, XYZ. And
Yeah.
I guess now I've just learned to be okay with it and be okay with myself and accept that. And I don't know. So yeah,
Well,
it starts with gratitude
that's
and goes from there.
no, I think that's super powerful because there's, so many situations, big or small, it doesn't matter, but to know that you have somebody on your side that you can sit down and talk to, that you can trust, that can just say, okay, what if we start working on this, and that's just the beauty of Oola. Like you said, you be you, and we love and accept you exactly the way you
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, as far as me, I can guarantee you I will never ever judge. The best example that I can give is one of my volunteer jobs was being in the NICU, and it was the babies that had a chance of either living or dying, and I was a cuddler. And so I was the
Hmm.
last, if they were to pass, I was the last person that held them, or that, because there were a lot of babies in the NICU that didn't have parents that came.
Wow.
And so a lot of people, number one, couldn't do the job because they didn't want to, they don't like the heartbreak of that, which I get totally. But I knew them passing to the next, wherever they're going, that they felt unconditional love straight from God. I knew that I could present that. But something else is
Mm.
when those mothers would come, and quite a few of those babies, at least in our area, were drug babies. And so the
Yeah.
mothers were very much on something. And I can tell you, I never one time looked at that mom and judged her for where she was in life or for what she did. And that's really strong, because there were other friends I had that were like, oh my gosh, how could they do that to their baby? And lots of like, I'm just a person that does not stand for judgment. And so
Yeah.
that mom was doing the best she could with where she could. and
Yeah.
not condoning it. Again, not condoning that behavior, but I will not judge a person who comes to me. I don't care what you tell me. If it's illegal, we're probably going to need to talk about some stuff, but I'm not going to judge you when you're coming to me with something when you're down and out.
So for those out there listening today that would like to reach out to you, what would be the best place for them to reach out to you, and what do you have to offer them?
So the easiest way is I am Soulga, Soulga. Like it started off with yoga. That's how we got the GA, but it's from the soul. SoulgaLifeCoach.com.
We
And then
have
if you're
we have it down in the bottom.
Okay, perfect.
Yep.
Oh yeah, we do. So SoulgaLifeCoach.com. And then if you're on any of the social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, it's all the handle at and then Soulga Life Coach. But if you go to the website, then you'll have a phone number and all the other handles anyway, or the links anyway. My challenge is if you can present to me with something that I can't find the silver lining, I will coach you for free, 100%. And then I forgot what else you asked me to say.
No, I think that's fine. As long as everybody knows where to find you. And then, like you said, to present her with a challenge. Come on, I challenge you guys as well. What is that dark place where you are at right now, where you just cannot find the silver lining? Reach out to Coach Michelle. She will help you find the silver lining, or if she cannot, she's going to offer to coach you for free.
Absolutely.
So please take advantage of her challenge over there. And as for me, my name is Coach Mona, and I am here to challenge you to dream again. So that means that if you feel that you're stuck and you're not in a place where you should be, and there's something else, but you don't know what, let's come together and have a chat as well, and we'll see where you're supposed to be rather than where you are right now. And with that, guys, thank you so much for listening in. And as we say in Oola, be grateful, have faith, and go get your Oola life. Have a great day, guys.
You cut me loose and set me free. You make me win every way. You showed me how to spread my wings. Yes, I'm the